I took my glasses on. I have a headache already.
Yeah, wow.
Talk to me, lady.
How are you?
I'm okay. You know?
What did
It's been a weird Okay. I'm with
You're
it.
giving me like
I'm with it.
This is cute nerd look vibe. I'm into it.
For
Not
anyone
nerd
who's
in a bad way, but in a positive way.
For anyone who's not watching the YouTube, I picked up a random black case that had my blue light glasses in it, and I selected quite a pair. I look dashing.
I wonder if the blue light glasses that we have are here, or if Olivia took them to work.
There was a
Can't see them.
very good quality brand that I won't plug because they're not paying us, and I no longer do this for free.
I know, right?
They had a buy one get one sale for like Christmas last year, and I got like 4 pairs of blue light glasses because I couldn't decide.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got my pair of blue light glasses in a very popular subscription box I'm not going to name because they're not sponsoring us. But if you listen to literally any other Bachelor podcast,
don't give any clues. They must pay us.
Yeah. So anyway,
all I see is dollar signs. Dollar signs.
Okay. But yeah. So what did you do last night when the show wasn't airing? Our beloved game.
Honestly, what did I do last night? Last night I was watching an old season of RuPaul's Drag Race and was folding laundry.
Wow.
I think.
That's beautiful.
That sounds about right.
Beautiful. I was binge watching this show on Netflix that my girlfriend and I just discovered called Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts, or Age of Wonder Beasts or something. And so when I'm not watching The Bachelor, I am pretty heavily watching animated things, and not anime, at least for me. Olivia loves anime. I am less into anime, but animation, like cartoons and shit, I love them so much. If anybody needs a cartoon rec, I got you. But Kipo and the Wonder Beasts is very cute. Well, now I want to know your top 5. Oh,
I'll even say top 3.
Well, okay, wait. I'm gonna go with my top 3 like recents because it's been like obviously like I can't rank the like kid throwback like Nickelodeon. Recent favorites. Okay, Steven Universe Steven Universe is number 1, 100% number 1. It is the most amazing. Steven Universe. Number 2 is Gravity Falls on Cartoon Network. Both of those are on Cartoon Network. They're very similar, but not like both. What I love about animation is you are able to have a higher suspension of disbelief where you're able to be like, oh yeah, these people have magical powers and nothing matters, and oh, you live in a magical place. Like that's totally cool because it's animation, but doing that in real life feels weird. But 3, I could like throw up a bunch of options. No. Whoa. She-Ra. Duh. She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. So those are my top 3. Actually, I would put She-Ra ahead of Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls is number 3. She-Ra is 2. Steven Universe number 1. It's actually very hard to rank She-Ra and Steven Universe against each other. They're like apples and oranges. But really, She-Ra couldn't. The beauty of this is just as my full tangent moment, but the beauty of this is that most of the cartoons I listed including the one we were watching last night, Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts, but Kipo, Kipo, that's all you need. Those shows could not exist without Steven Universe. Because Steven Universe was one of the first cartoons. I mean, Adventure Time started it, but they didn't let Marceline and Bubblegum be gay until Steven Universe was out, because for the longest time, like Marceline and Bubblegum people were like shipped them and wanted them in Adventure Time to be together. Yeah, exactly. Tension for sure. But it wasn't like they didn't give it to you until the very, very, very end. Steven Universe makes it a literal whole point of the show. Like,
I've never seen it.
Queerness. Okay, well, first of all, you should. It is art. It's also
Okay. For
My thing with
reference,
my
Shannon,
mm,
my 3 cartoons, which is like why I haven't seen
yes.
it, my 3 cartoons, and one of them isn't even recent. It's like Rick and Morty, South Park, and like Daria.
Yeah, okay, I
That's where
love
I
Daria. I
go when I do
love
animated.
Daria. Love Daria so much. Love like Bob's Burgers, like
I
those
do
kind
love
of
me some fucking
dry,
Bobber. I do love
yeah,
some
like
Bob's.
dry comedy. That's
Archer.
super
Archer's
fun.
very good.
But I'm Archer, great one.
Never mind. We don't need. We're not
Even
talking about Archer.
like, but but I will give you, so Steven Universe is one of those cartoons that no matter what, they have jokes that are built in that are like that are like dry, layered, funny. They have tons of different characters, tons of awesome voice actors.
Okay.
Like half of the cast of Orange is the New Black ends up being like guest voices. And
Okay. Alright.
but a little toward the like down the line. But the thing about Steven Universe is it's one of those shows to watch when you're feeling ready to start healing your inner child. That sounds so dramatic, but like I know people who can barely shed a tear over like anything and are bawling watching Steven Universe. Like,
See, I
and
don't
not,
want
it's
that.
just, no, not bawling in like a it's a good, oh God, but you're a water moon. You know, you gotta,
But I
sometimes it's
cry at like
that,
everything though.
I've been
So
learning.
I'm
Well,
not
I mean,
like, yeah, I'm not
literally
like
same. It's
hurting
not.
for a
But I
cry.
mean, the thing is that the show is insanely amazing. But what is the plot like itself is fucking cool. That shit doesn't make you cry. Like it's
Right.
not like that. But it's like the way that they handle things and try to show kids, like, this is what I like about animation nowadays is they're better about showing kids important shit that they need to learn, like how to manage anxiety and how to, communicate your feelings, how to understand different family dynamics and parent styles. And like for instance, Steven Universe is raised by 3 women presenting alien type people, again, suspension of disbelief animation,
Right.
and his father, who none of them are like dating, but it's like he's just raised by all these people who love him. So it's kind of just this whole deal of amazing work through of all these different things. They also have a random episode about like addressing xenophobia. They have like really cool things that are very obvious to adults but much more subtle for kids, where it's like, but it's also not,
I
it
do
doesn't
love a
feel
good
like I'm
like
watching a
placed
kids show.
lesson. Yeah.
Yes,
I do
you
love that.
will. I swear you will love it. Also, because Steven, if I were to assign astrology to him, I would give him Leo, Cancer, and Pisces. Like he is
Okay.
all
I put it
of
on I made a
the
note.
like
It's been written down already.
good.
I'll watch it. I'm supposed to
Shira
do
though,
that and watch the new
Steven
Justice
Universe is
League.
also. Oh yeah, there's 4 hours.
But Shannon, actually, so this shameless plug for the Average Bear podcast, the guy that I
Yes,
interviewed this morning
please do.
we were talking about the fact that an undertaking that both of us did during quarantine is watching the Marvel movies in chronological order. Right? Okay.
Yes.
And
Wow.
that is that not the best way to watch them?
It's the only way. Like,
Okay.
unless obviously if you watched every single Marvel movie in theaters, that's the other
No,
best
even
way.
then.
But like oh my
But
god, like
Shannon,
starting with Captain
this just like the format and like it feeling like you're binging a superhero show because that's what it felt like.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
apparently that's what this new Justice League feels like because it's split up into 7 parts and it's actually ticked on the thing. So you don't have to
Uh,
watch it in 4
in
hours. You can watch it in 7 parts or as a 4-hour
interesting.
binge.
Yeah, Olivia and I were already joking that like if we're gonna watch it, which we probably will because Olivia enjoys DC. We were like, we'll just have to like watch it in parts because 4 hours,
It's split up
our
for
brains are
you.
not going to want to focus on that. But we were just thinking like, I'm sure there will be because like in literally any movie, I will make the argument that you could throw a commercial in the between like part of it or like
There are
an
acts.
end,
There are
and then it
acts
would
for
be an
sure.
episode. Exactly.
For sure.
So yeah, but wow. I love being able to binge other things. And that's also kind of the theme of this episode of the podcast is not that we will talk about The Bachelor, but we wanted to like let everybody get to know us a little more because we literally started straight on the show. There was
Yeah.
no like we
We sort of
we're just
had we didn't
we ran
we
into
never
it.
really did an introductory blah, 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 blah.
Well, we did like an introduction to the
Well, that's what I
women.
was
Like
gonna
we
say.
did, but not for
We
ourselves. Yeah.
included tidbits about ourselves sprinkled in the episode. We and our personalities. We leave like little breadcrumbs here and there throughout the episodes, and like
Mm-hmm.
we talk about ourselves
Exactly.
semi frequently. But we've never really done on either podcast a real like get to know us.
Yeah. And we will definitely talk about like our favorite Bachelor related stuff, but it's real fun to shoot the shit about cartoons and superheroes.
I mean,
I love
yeah,
yeah.
these are my favorite types of you know me. I have this is the whole concept of my other podcast is doing literally this. So like I love
Well,
this
and
shit.
also the whole concept of a Gemini person, like us Gemini risings in general, is to have a million different interests that all somehow kind of relate, but also don't. Like, I feel like, video games, Sims, TV, all this is like media, like that media
Entertainment.
consumption is one big thing for us Gemini people, especially because our brains are always moving a mile a minute. So it's like we have to kind of anchor ourselves with a million things around us, but yeah, wow. But Kipo though, that show real cute. It's got one of the voices from Shira, like one of the lead voices of Shira is the lead in Kipo, and so we when we just started watching it, we were like, holy shit. And it's also queer. That's also my favorite thing about cartoons now. Everything's really queer. It's like, oh god, it's amazing. So it's just so nice to watch some gay content that's not like about coming out or annoying or homophobic.
You know what's super interesting? Not, I mean, if I made this joke on my Instagram story.
Yes.
Well, like what's
Tell me.
interesting is, I always think about the argument that's made by like this super religious, like super homophobic folk that are like, oh, you're like pushing gayness onto our kids, like, oh, gay characters, like, oh, you're thrusting gayness upon them and all this shit. And it's like looking back on it, there are characters that are we've talked about like queer coded characters. Like there are characters that are very obviously like looking back on it queer characters, but I had no idea as a kid. I had no clue until I had met someone that was similar to said character in real life.
Because what's ridiculous is that people and like straight parents need to stop forcing this narrative of like, oh haha, my little 2-year-old, he's just such a flirt. And it's like, no, he's not. He's just smiling and babbling at people like he's a baby or they're kids. Like kids, you're literally not, your brain is not even contemplating attraction until you're getting close to puberty. Like, and even then it's not even, it's very superficial attraction before you're hitting that like early teen space. So it's just like, I hate that narrative of, oh, you're pushing this, okay, what, as if you're pushing straightness constantly, like get off me. Also, I'll use this literally, this show the Kipo show we're watching, the scene that I'm thinking of is like the girl has a crush on one of the boy characters and she like tells him, it's like, I like you. And he goes, oh, wow, thanks. And like, then he literally says, I think you're awesome, but I'm gay. And she was like, oh, okay. And then they're just like best friends and it's not a problem. And then he meets, like, they give him a love interest and it's extremely fucking casual and like any other like early teen like thing of like, oh, wow, seeing across the, oh my God, we like music to get the same music. Wait, oh my God, you like to bake? It's normal and it's fine, and kids don't note it as like, oh, why are those boys doing that? It's literally like, wow, cute, like that's nice, don't I want that someday? Yeah, like with anyone.
Well, it's
Anyway.
interesting. I'm trying to think of. I'm gonna be hyper aware of the fact that I say that now, even though I was already hyper aware and I made the joke in the first place.
Oh.
Well, what's interesting is
So, what's interesting is, I mean, whatever,
everything's fucking interesting.
we all have vocal fry,
I can't
vocal
think
phrases.
of a single anything that does not include a love interest of some kind. I can't remember the last book I read, even if it like wasn't about that. I can't think of a single thing that doesn't
even
have some kind of
shows.
relation where, like, for anybody, where there's some kind of story or
Mhm.
plot line in which somebody is dealing with a
And
romantic interest.
even movies like Frozen. Remember Frozen came out and everyone was like, "Wow, it's a sister relationship." Okay, but there was still a romantic
Two different
relationship for
ones.
Anna or whatever. Right? Like
Yeah.
this is
Yep.
yes, the overall message was about the sisterhood of them, but you were still shoving down these kids' throats the straight
Literally
relationship.
though.
Like it, get off with that. Yeah, it's so I hate yeah. I've lately been very not aggressive in a bad way, but I'm sure you might be feeling this way lately because right now Gemini Mars is in Gemini, which means Mars is in our first house as Gemini risings. So to our literal selves, right? Like our whole self, we are kind of sometimes just getting a little like ready to go, like ready to fight, and not on a not all not we were able to manage obviously, but there's definitely times right now where I've just been like, I want to fight literally every fucking straight person who's tired of people or queer people being like, oh, like I just like my content to be gay or whatever. Or like, oh my God, or think about in relation to The Bachelor. Remember when Demi was trying to have her girlfriend on the show and it was, I mean, I'll admit, I wish that I will not firmly, I will note that as a queer relationship on the show, you know, but I don't note that as a show formed queer relationship. I need a queer relationship to form from the moment either women or men on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette are like are players and then they fall in love. Or Bachelor in Paradise, two same sex people fall in love. On Paradise seems where it's like most likely, but
So
anyway, that's just my other tangent off of queerness because when The Bachelor gets queer, I will be there to watch.
there are whispers in
Ooh.
Bachelor Nation about the fact that
Oh,
that does happen. There's apparently
yes.
quite
You sent me that
yeah,
TikTok.
there's quite a bit um of relations happening behind the scenes that we don't get to see for obvious reasons because it would burst the bubble.
I'm really, you know what I'm really thinking of right
What?
now? The Neem Cullen and the La Quinta roommate situations because they were roomed with people, and as we see,
I
some of them, many of them did not get along, but many of them are now besties and stuff. So that is definitely one of those prime ripe moments because otherwise in the mansion, abroad one thing, but in the mansion they're literally all on top of each other, like stacked in rooms. So it's just like fascinating. Also, it would be so hard because the only place that they can't fucking film you is the bathroom. How many bathroom hookups do you think have happened?
well, another whisper, another apparently moment. There
Whisper.
are cameras and everything is filmed. Just certain things are 100% not going to be aired.
Not shown,
So
right.
there
Right,
are
right, right.
apparently cameras all over the place and no there is no real privacy.
Well, well,
That's why when we
well.
were talking about whatever
Well,
episode
well,
it came
well.
up in when I was saying that like the shocker of it must have been Fantasy Suites, that like the shocker of it all to me was Peter and Hannah getting away to have sex on a not fantasy suite date because like I was on I mean we know like I was on a production set that was like a lot, I don't want to say more lax, but like more lax than The Bachelor, and I was not alone for a single fucking
Yeah.
second. The only times that I were alone were like them walking me to the door of the house or like the door of the building that had the bathroom in it and then me running into the bathroom. You know what I mean? So like what's
Yeah.
allowed is what's what underline bold italicized like allowed.
Right. Wow. That's my dream. Okay. Well, then wait a minute. My first question. This also totally goes. This is totally a Bachelor alternate universe moment.
What
All
is
right.
it?
So, who are your ideal queer couple ships from like it can be like from any of the seasons or any of the recent stuff that you remember, but like, so if you were to ship 2 men and 2 women together, who would you pick? And we can both have a moment to consider this thought, because I'm inspired to ask this. This is not my ship, but this is while you think, makes me think of when I texted you or I
Okay.
sent you
I can't
the
remember the
really really
name.
chaotic reel, the chaotic reel of Joe, Park,
Oh my
and
god.
Bennett from Claysha's season.
Bennett, fucking
Glacier.
listen, Bennett, you
Bennett is
are listening.
so
Catch
chaotic
me on
online.
the fucking streets of
Bennett,
Soho, bro. I hope to see you around. I just want to talk.
literally. But they did this. They were for sure. You know where they were. Do you know
Um,
where they were from that place? Because I knew
I'm sure if
exactly
I
where
was
they
like
were just from
paying
looking at the.
attention, I would, because I do that a lot. I try to
Oh,
like spot where people are, because I mean, we always know.
oh,
But
it's
I
it's
was not
very
paying
obvious
attention.
if you've been on the subway. If you've been on the subway, you know
I
what it is. It
notoriously
was the
don't take
edge.
public transportation. I do not take the subway.
That's so funny. You are such a little
I
Leo.
don't fit
Oh
into
my
it.
god, the Leo Mercury. You know what's so funny is that's Olivia too. The Leo Mercury. Leo. So Mercury is what rules
Yeah,
transportation. So both of you Leo Mercuries are like,
I would walk.
no, public,
I don't really
no.
like Ubers or Lyfts or
Yeah,
taxis
no.
either. Like I will literally
Mm.
walk from 79th and Broadway all the way down to fucking West Chambers and West Broad. Like I will walk before I get on the fucking subway in the rain,
Holy
in the
shit.
snow. I do not like the subway.
You are truly Leo Mercury ruled. That's like makes it in my mind. Well, but they are at the Edge NYC, which is that new tall tourist thing at Hudson Yards.
I haven't even been
And
there
it's like,
because of
so
the
essentially,
touristiness of it all.
oh yeah,
I
I'm,
gotta
I'm not going to
avoid.
Hudson. Yeah, being at Hudson Yards. I mean, honestly, the time right now to go is now, because tourism
There's
is
just too many people.
like international tourism is cut.
I'm scared.
That's lit. Oh, I know. I yeah, but they're up there and they do this the dumb like
Yeah.
the Titanic moment, and I was just like, just make out already, like just make out. All right.
I know my
So do
guys.
you have a couple in mind? Because I have a couple. Okay, I have my
Okay.
girls, so I can't. I'm trying to think of my
My
dudes.
guys. Well, okay, I don't really know what
Actually,
the
I know
real
them.
context is because I'm not I don't I'm
I'm
sorry.
about
I'm
to do
just
a
thinking about like
homoerotic
the
view of The
context has
Bachelor.
to matter because like this in my mind it's like it stems from a place of humor. Connor
Okay.
from Hannah B's season, tall skinny Connor, and
Yeah.
boy band Kenny.
But they're
Like the
like
same, like
identical.
different, but
Is
like the
that why?
same.
You know what's funny is mine also involves
Oh
Connor.
god, yes, Connor.
But Connor and Mike Johnson, because they live together right now and they're like roomies and they're always doing cute bro stuff on their
Okay.
Instagrams. And I'm just like, just be together.
Yeah.
You're so cute together already. Ugh, that interracial gay love would be mwah. But it's fine. I also want Mike Johnson to marry
I just
me. So
let's
my
hear it.
women are Demi, actually. I mean, I
Okay.
wanted this anyway. Demi and Hannah B.
Okay.
Because they're also like, we're best friends. I don't know if they are anymore, actually, because of maybe when Demi came out, Hannah might
No,
have
I
been
think
like, I don't
they
know that.
are.
But I just feel like they were such like bestie vibes on Colton season, and then they kept doing it, and then Demi was like obsessed with Hannah whenever Hannah became the Bachelorette. Oh my god, it was just a whole thing, and Demi kept showing up on her season. Like I just and there's something about two blonde
I've got my
femmes just
ladies.
making out. Who?
I know that you respect and love very much the relationship that she's already in. But Kaylin
It's
and
okay.
Bree Springs.
Wow. That would just be like, I love how you're picking different season people and I'm picking
I'm
same
picking people
season
that I like.
people.
I wish to see them interact. You know,
I
like
see.
what
I see.
I would love
Well,
to see.
yeah, Brie also Brie gives me like secret queer energy, like someone who's probably like made out with girls before, like might have a threesome, that kind of situation. She just is so, first of all, she's so Sagittarius, and like I'm gonna say it, Sagittarius is be fucking queer shit. Like, and even if they're not, like it's women, I should say, Sagittarius women, because, and not just, yes, me, but like the Gemini Sagittarius axis, I've always said this, is the queerest one. They just don't give a fuck really about what people think. And Gemini likes both. Sagittarius likes to experience anything. It's very much a very open situation of like, oh yeah, fuck it, let's just make out, who cares. And Mercury, the planet, which is Gemini's ruling sign and Virgo's ruling planet, and Virgo's ruling planet, is in the mythologically queer, or at least no gender. The planet is not gendered in astrology, whereas like Venus is feminine, Mars is masculine, like all those other things. Mercury has no gender. Fun fact. So anyway,
Okay.
yeah. Wow. I love
So
this episode already. We're just rolling through all these this
I'm going to give you an
stuff.
option. Do you want a bachelor related question or you want a not
Okay.
bachelor related question?
Okay, let's go
Not
not
bachelor
bachelor
related.
related, since I did the bachelor related question about who the
Okay.
queer couple would be.
Since we're both fans of mythology, I'm going to throw you a mythology bone. With a little sprinkle of role play. If you could identify with and or switch places with any like god or goddess, who would you pick? I'll even say mythological creature, like creature of mythos.
No, I'm gonna go. Okay. Honestly, probably Artemis.
Fire. All
It's
right.
a pretty, it's a pretty standard queer woman answer, but she's literally an archer. Like she is such a bad hunter. I am all about it, and very powerful queer typed
Okay.
goddess.
All right.
What about you?
Okay, don't laugh and don't judge.
I won't.
Persephone.
I'm only laughing.
Right, I'm like,
because
don't laugh. And you're like,
it's so perfect. Like it's perfect for
yeah.
you are the like the underworld queen.
I'm not gonna say it's not true, but
I mean, and this is a compliment. Like we have the seasons thanks to Persephone.
that's one of my favorite stories.
It's such a good one, and it's such a cool one because I think it really resonates, since it is so direct with like this story is why we have seasons. Like this is it's helpful. It connects in that way. Whereas some stories are just, stories about the gods doing bullshit, fucking people, drinking too
Right.
much,
But
whatever.
it's always
But
like
that one is very much like the kids, the seasons. It's like, wow, like we have spring because like this is when Persephone gets to leave the underworld. Like whatever. Very cool. Also, the pomegranate is such a great symbol for everything. Lust.
I love that you like know that story so well, because that
I
really is one of my fucking favorites.
I can't wait. I'm starting this research to write a cookbook about planetary remediation. And so if you're listening to this, don't fucking take my idea because it's already happening. I'm doing it before you. Fuck off. But essentially it's going through a lot of like what planets signify food related stuff, and I might have mentioned this on your podcast when we did the episode about astrology on Average Bear, when I was talking about foods that are ruled by different planets. And like I think I may have mentioned on that one was the moon rules cheese and dairy and like comfort food,
I feel like
whereas
I remember us talking about it, but I don't know why, but I feel like we talked about it
right,
more recent than that, so it might have been on this.
possibly,
We talked too
but it's cool
much.
because Yeah, we talk all the time. Gemini risings. But what's cool is the pomegranate is ruled by Venus, but it's also very much a Mars type fruit because it's so dark red, and also it comes from the underworld, and Mars is Hades. Like, well, really, Pluto is Hades, but we're connecting it to the more traditional
Hades is
planet
also
instead of
my
Pluto.
favorite character in the Disney rendition of Hercules.
He is iconic. I love Disney's Hercules.
Me
It's so
too.
good.
Oh my
And
god.
I would definitely enjoy a live action remake. It would just have to be cast
If they
properly.
wouldn't cast me as Meg, then it's not cast properly.
You would nail Meg. Oh my god. You could even
It's
do the
the
body
role of all
poses she does where
roles.
she's just standing.
Hips
Yes.
forward,
Wow.
shoulders back.
Meg is a really A plus character.
My favorite, she's not
Wow.
technically a Disney princess, but that's like my favorite Disney princess.
Yeah, whatever. Disney adjacent woman to
Yeah.
a somewhat. Yeah. Um all right, wait. So what's the bachelor
The
question?
Bachelor question is going to be your ideal fantasy suite.
Wow. All right. Okay.
Do
Okay.
you want me to share mine while you think?
Yes.
Okay. So imagine like that dome that Nick and Raven had in the winter area,
Oh, so cool.
but
Yeah.
in the desert. Yeah, like like no light
You would be
pollution.
boiling
No,
inside.
no, I'd be fine because it gets cold at night.
Yeah, but you'd be boiling from the sun during the day. But still,
But
very
yeah,
cool.
well, we'd have like cool activities. I'm picturing a little
Yeah.
pool there or something, something to keep us
Love it.
cold while while the heat collects in the dome during the day,
Yes.
and then chilling in the dome where it's warm at night. With like
Love
all of the
that.
stars and the planets and the cool things.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, maybe some
Gorge.
like sand dune activities.
Yeah. All right. I think mine would be like I think it would have to be in Europe, but probably Italy because I mean I love it there, but somewhere uh like private, like it could be a hotel, but like a little villa would be cooler, like a little small villa, but like no matter what it has to have a balcony over ocean, and if better yet we have to go swimming in like a cove. I'm thinking like Cinque Terre area, like the
I'm
Mediterranean
thinking,
side
yeah,
of,
like
of Italy.
Positano.
Yeah, and you're in there, we just get to eat Italian food, actually eat it, bachelor, actually eat it, and then swim and make out, and then be like just like fall into each other in this very romantic villa with linen sheets, true linen, true linen sheets, because have you, sleeping on actual linen is like, it's next level. I'm someone who
I would
sweats
say the
so much
airiness
at
of it
night.
all,
Yep.
the
I
breathability.
sweat so much at night, and it is so comfortable, and it's not, and people are like, it's not like as traditionally like soft as you think, but it's not rough. Like it's that soft that's not like,
Slightly
it's
textured.
not like plush soft. Yeah, but it's, oh god, feels like the height of luxury, literally. And then we would have sex in a really hot shower, like a really dope shower
Okay.
in the villa. Yeah. Not, we wouldn't have sex in the shower, but like pre-game in the shower, pre-sex foreplay. Wow, that's the word. Pre-game,
Pre-game. All right.
pre-game the sex. Let's chug a couple
All right.
beers.
You've been paying too much attention to the old Matt. We're getting like frat boy
Yeah.
Tyler
Oh
Cameron
God.
business.
Wait. Speaking of Matt, can we talk about a little bit of the random shit that's been going
Oh,
down since the
yeah, actually,
finale?
because I feel like a lot of things have happened that we haven't, like, we never talked about the fact that
Yeah.
Brie was on after the final rose. That's something that we've
Yep.
shared on Instagram, but
Which
not. talked about.
Like, so we're cutting her out. Also posted on Instagram that Emmanuel Acha, Rachel and Michelle had a conversation of
Yes.
like reconciliation. So here's my theory on the reason Brie was cut, and obviously Michelle was cut too, but Emmanuel was able to share that portion. Like he was still given the footage of that to share. Like there was no, if we're thinking about about Instagrams and what footage is able to air, Emmanuel Acho's not just like casually getting like,
Right,
oh, can I
right.
just have that real quick? Like, no, they released that
They
to him.
usually send like
So they didn't release
DVDs.
right. So they didn't release the Bree Springs thing, but they released the Michelle thing to him. So my theory here is that Rachel had to make amends with Michelle because Michelle's going to be the Bachelorette. And the show wanted to kind of absolve anything of them not being cool. Like, just they wanted to give that moment of like, look, our new Black Bachelorette says it's okay and Rachel's fine and she has a good heart. So, look, guys, it's really not that bad. Like, yeah, we really fucked up Matt's life, but look, our new Black Bachelorette, she says that it's fine. So, that's my thought. And then they just don't even show Brie because there's nothing other than like the Matt closure, which typically kind of happens on every after the final rose. Even though do they bring top? I can't remember. I feel like we probably have seen top 3 come back before, but like Michelle being there made more sense as the top 2 person. But I
Well,
guess
that was when didn't
I
they
don't
used
know.
to have the women tell all and the after the final rose combined or something? Am I
No, the
misremembering
women
that?
tell all has always been separate, but the after the final
Has
rose
had people, right?
would often be a separate day.
Maybe I'm thinking about
Like
like
the
the
first
audience.
episode would
It
air.
seemed very like not
I
exclusive,
know.
but like not. Mm.
Yeah, but either way, I think that there was like no stakes to keep Brie in, other than Brie getting to maybe talk about the Chris Harrison Rachel Lindsay thing or the Rachel Garcano thing and kind of having her own closure with Matt for a minute. But Brie doesn't seem like Brie literally doesn't give a fuck about the show. Like Brie is already buddying up with Rachel Lindsay. Did you see that post? They're already hanging out, and like I think Brie allying with Rachel Lindsay is big because Rachel is already kind of fuck you to the franchise at this point. Still somewhat adjacent, even though have you noticed that Tayshia has been taking her place with Becca on Bachelor Happy Hour?
I'm not
Rachel's not been back
surprised
yet.
by that.
Which but it's just like they're which also replacing with Tasha, they're literally like, oh, the first Black Bachelorette went rogue, let's put the second one in. Like, but
I'm so curious about like the
Jesus.
timeline of a million and five conversations had to have happened behind the scenes, and I'm curious about those conversations and about the timeline of those conversations because Bree shouldn't want to have anything to do with the show. We've kind of been saying that. Like anyone
Yeah.
from this season who's not willing to speak out on this
Most of
show,
anybody
like
from the fucking show should never want to have anything to do
but
with
it's
it.
like this
Unless they're going
but
on
this season
Paradise.
specifically, we talked in a previous episode about the fact that like I will be shocked if we don't have 2 years from now, a year from now, whatever the fuck it is, if we don't have like a crazy number of people stepping forward to be like, hey, this is what's happening, this is what happened. I would be shocked. And I think Brie is like kind of it's I don't want to call some of these women sellouts and I don't want to call some of these people sellouts, but it seems like a lot of them are like actively trying see the show as a cash cow and are like trying to stay in the good graces, and
Yep.
Bree's like, I don't fucking care. Like the show did fuck me. Like her feelings seem to be the
She
most like
literally doesn't care. Yeah.
genuine. Like the show fucked me over, so fuck this show. I don't owe you guys shit. You guys owe me. So
Yeah. Like Brie was nothing but a fan favorite. Like the audience loved her. Like people loved her. Matt like really was into her too. So it's just like she is just like, I don't fucking need any of this. And also it's so funny because she has that fat Sagittarius stellium in her 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of isolation and like imprisonment and things like that. And it's fascinating to think that post literal imprisonment by this show, she's been heartbroken through all of that. And it's like, fuck that. Like, never again. I will never be on Bachelor. You can't catch me anywhere. Like, fuck all you. Like, I highly doubt she'll be on Bachelor in Paradise.
I
Highly doubt.
wonder, there's a show that I watch that when it comes down to the finale, like, so I'm talking about Drag Race. I mean, they do Drag Race, they do like their all-star
Yeah.
seasons, right? And the all-star finales are not filmed the same as the regular season finales, or at least they used to be pre-COVID. Because the regular season finales would be like live in front of an audience, like they would be filmed and aired later, but like it happened on a stage in
Yeah.
front of a crowd, and a winner was selected. And when they do the all stars one, it's done like in the studio just in front of the judges, and then they air it, and it's like less of a large ordeal. And I can't remember if this was debunked or not, but there was one season when they pretty much said that they filmed, or this is like how it's done, but they film every one of the final three or final four winning. They have the footage of all of them being crowned and all of them being told like, you are the winner of this season. And then they kind of just wait to see how the public feels and wait to see how people like kind of suss out the contestants. And then essentially like the fan favorite wins, and they air the footage of the fan favorite winning, but they don't know until it's been aired because all of them have been. So I wonder if like they.
Yeah, I've never watched an all-star season of RuPaul's
Well,
Drag Race. I've only ever watched like the individuals, so I didn't know that they were
well, like
filmed on.
long walk to off a short plank. You know what I mean? My point is like, I
Yeah.
wonder if they filmed something with Brie anticipating making her the Bachelorette, or having her be a larger presence, and then like
Yeah.
something in between, something that she did or something she said or something she posted on whatever between filming or
Or something she
airing.
just decided to say no
Right, like
to.
between
Yeah.
filming and airing, and they're like, fine, then you're not really relevant to the story anymore.
Yeah, I definitely believe that any lack of screen time to Brie was likely some form of punishment. And I guess to cutting for time, that's like the only thing, but because it was important to watch Matt and Rachel have that conversation, but also like, I don't know, we could have had, again, as we said last week, we could have had an hour finale and 2 hour after the final rose. Like, I would have rather seen much more of a bigger chunk of that conversation, especially because the conversation wasn't enough, apparently, because people are raining down on Matt's fucking comments, and we're doing so to the point where he literally archived all of his Instagram posts. He didn't delete his Instagram, but he has no posts, so no one can sit there and comment on anything. He was getting so much racist hate for not wanting to fucking teach Rachel not to be racist while they're dating. That's like not fucking cool. People were telling him that he was so cold and that he was so mean to get rid of her, and when she could have been doing the work. And oh, by the way, someone who did say that also was fucking Pete, motherfucking
Let's talk about
pirate Pete.
this. Let's talk about Pete and Barb, actually. Or no, Pete,
I
Barb, and my motherfucking Blake. Dude. Me and Blake. That is my arch
I'm
nemesis.
really
He doesn't
annoyed.
know it, listeners, but Blake is like my franchise worst enemy. We've exchanged words before, and he
That's
doesn't.
so
I know he
funny.
doesn't remember because I'm like an insignificant
Yep.
blip to him. But like I remember our conversation, and Blake, it's on fucking site, bro. Like,
Yeah,
woo!
he's a shithead.
I hate
But
Blake.
so what? Yeah, do you wanna then summarize real quick?
Basically, Blake and Pilot Pete agree that Matt should be extending grace to Rachel and should essentially have stayed with her, and this wasn't a big enough deal in their mind for them to end their relationship.
Yeah, so it would have apparently, Peter said, it would have been a stronger show of love to stay together. I like in more or less saying, well, we could have just healed racism if they
I'm
stayed
imagining
together. Like
Shannon saying
he's
something.
what the fuck kind of size brain
I'm
does he
I'm
have?
honestly imagining doing or saying something, whether I realize it or not, like doing or saying something that was anti-Semitic, and then expecting my Jewish partner to be like, just fucking fine.
It's fine. I'll teach you how to not be a
Bro,
Nazi.
I
No,
cannot imagine a
no.
world and what?
And also coming out of two fucking white men's mouths.
Okay, but like,
When have you had to teach your girlfriends anything? Your girlfriends are teaching you how to fucking not use 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner,
here's the
body
thing.
soap, assholes.
I'm not shocked by Pete because I just think Pete's a fucking dummy. Like I just think Pete's a
Pete's a
dumbass.
literal piece of shit. He's
Um,
a piece of shit.
but
I can't believe he was the bachelor, not my children. Whatever.
Blake's words and actions in regards to this don't fucking shock me because the reason that Blake and I got into it that very first time down in the DMs is because he was essentially saying that the shit that Colton did, like it didn't matter what Cassie said, like we should kind of give Colton like a chance. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, like and even when I explained to him, I can't get into details without
She was
like
being stalked.
I can't get into details without like revealing a lot of things about my own personal life that I don't feel comfortable sharing. But like even when I laid shit out for Blake and like a really you saw the screenshots, like you can't argue with the logic that I laid out.
I
Like
remember.
I laid it out for him so a fucking fifth grader could understand what I was saying, and he still had the audacity to be
Pea
like,
brains.
but we don't know though. We don't know if that's the truth. And I'm like, okay, bitch. Because the whole reason the fight started is because he basically was saying that what he was saying wasn't triggering. And I'm like, it might not be triggering to me, but like it's fucking you can't tell someone that it's not triggering if they're telling you that they're triggered, sir. Sir. Especially when you're speaking so candidly
Yeah.
about fucking
So
stalking. God, Blake, I'm telling you, Blake, for real, it's on site.
exactly. Exactly. So these people are piece of shits. And so we like Matt has literally
Yeah.
had
Anyway.
his life ruined by this show. Like he's tweeting about needing therapists. He is tweeting cryptic dates. He is being he's also like he's like sharing stuff on his story still. Like he's still being active on his Instagram. He's just not posted anything because again, comments were relentless. Meanwhile, Rachel's comments after her the final rose video was, "Oh my god, you're so strong. Rachel, love you. You have such a good heart. Rachel, you're amazing. This was the best thing you could do. Thank you for sharing your story." Oh, and half of those were from the white bitches on the show with her. MJ, get when I saw MJ's comment on her thing, I just want to what these white girls need to shut the fuck up. They need to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. I don't, including me sometimes, most of the time. It's just I just can't believe that. And Rachel did thankfully go on her story and was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I mean, she didn't say that. She can't say curse words, but she was basically like, "What the heck is going on? Like, stop commenting on Matt's stuff. Like, this is fine. Like, I know what happened had to happen. Like,
I just like
even when the white woman is like,
I
no, don't victimize me, everyone's like victimizing her because that is the Pisces
let's like put
of it
this
all.
in let's apply this to any other relationship, any other two people. Like let's take racism out of it. Just like the sheer principle of the thing. If your boyfriend or girlfriend, your partner breaks up with you, imagine how embarrassing it is to have everyone like bombard them like, but don't. And you're like, oh my God, please fucking stop. Like you're really not fucking helping. And then you take on the fact
You're
that like
literally
you
like, I
definitely
like
deserve,
they're just trying to heal from the
but then
breakup
it's like,
now.
then you
Jesus.
add the specifics of this situation and you add on top of the fact that like she did some racist shit and she was really ignorant about it and she was like not very receptive when he tried to help her initially and like all these reasons that completely validate this breakup and people are still like but no like
Yep.
if she did want to get back together with him the chances
But Matt, you have to
no but
heal
like if
her.
she's she's
Yeah,
not
Miso.
the people that are commenting this stuff are like delusional and like they're detached from reality but like even
Literally.
Rachel's not
They're the same people who were in our comments about
but
Rachel Lindsay and
even
shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Rachel Kirkconnell is not
racist.
delusioned enough to sit there and think that this is like helping her case. Like if she ever wanted to get back together with Matt, if she ever wanted that to be possible, like those people are not thinking about Rachel when they're commenting clearly, or else they would understand that even when they're trying to help, they're not helping in this. The logic behind it, it's not there. And I could dissect this all fucking day because it really is just
Yep.
so baffling to me.
Yeah,
Like, what do you think you're doing? Who do you think you're
so
swaying?
I'm so bothered by everybody and the reaction and of this, and I'm so sad for Matt. Like, and also, you know what I'm also bothered by? You know what I'm also
What?
bothered by? Tyler Cameron, trying to hawk his merch on the fucking day that after the final rose and posting nothing. Or maybe he did post one story about like, oh, got your back, bro, whatever, love you, or something. But it was like a story, not a main grid. Like, he is actively just trying to sell merch with Matt James's face on it, and yet not commenting on the fact that Matt James is having like endless racism thrown his way.
No joke. Like,
Some
uh,
fucking friend.
all jokes aside, being totally serious and like not trying to be sassy, you know, the whole thing about like the opposite of love isn't hate, the opposite of love is indifference. Like, Tyler Cameron has very legitimately pushed my buttons to the point where like I don't give a fuck about Tyler Cameron anymore. I don't
He's such an
fucking care about
Aquarius
him
man.
anymore at
He's
all.
such an Aquarius man. It's insane. He is surface only. And when you need him, like whenever you actually need him to kind of show up and like do this, like he just is gone. He's ghosted. Oh, I'm doing something else. Oh, I'm taking film pictures of myself eating pizza. Haha.
Yeah,
It's
I
I'm over
really,
it.
I'm telling you, I have no
Yeah.
words. I'm not shocked by anything that you're saying or
I'm
anything that
over
he
it,
does.
Miso.
I
Miso is so
just,
cute right now.
I feel like the Tyler Cameron, we're like broken records. It's the same shit every week because he's just trash.
Yeah. Also, everybody needs to be watching the YouTube right now because my cat is being so
Yeah,
cute. He's laying his little head on, like he just leaned his head on my arm further
he sensed that
to
you were.
chill.
He's like, oh, she's
He's
talking about
literally
TC. She's gonna get upset.
fully,
Must
this is his
comfort.
belly that I'm scratching. Oh, you're so cute. Ugh, wow. So, okay, so there's that. They're all being horrible. Oh, so you know who else is being horrible? Nick Viall.
What did he do? I don't know what he did.
So, okay, so I saw this on the Game of Roses Facebook group, and it was a screenshot of one of his stories. Apparently he was doing a like general, like kind of like, oh, ask me Q&A, like let me help you with something kind of shit. And somebody asked him like, I'm 29 and like I'm trying to date and I want to meet people out in the world more, like whatever, what should I do? And his only response was smile more. Also she said she was a woman.
Does he
29-year-old
think
woman.
that he's funny?
So then, get this. So that was the first answer. And then he screenshot that story,
Oh, God.
reposted it on his story with a longer explanation discussing like where he was basically trying to say, look, this is going to be a controversial opinion. People are going to think I'm wrong. But, you know, smiling at people you don't know is definitely the way to get people's attention and to be nice, la 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 la. Basically trying to just over explain himself instead of just being like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize that this came off as a misogynistic microaggression. Uh, yeah, because also, yeah, smiling at random men in the public, not quite, not exactly my preferred way of
I
trying to date.
actively don't do that. I
Yeah,
you'll find this funny. I very actively like do not get out of the way when a man is walking at me on the sidewalk.
me too.
You
Me
will,
too.
if you do not hop out of the way when I'm walking
I
at
only get out
you.
of the way if it's like a senior, like an old
Oh yeah, yeah,
person.
yeah. Like a
That's like, yeah, yeah,
senior,
yeah.
a
Well,
woman, someone
obviously,
with
but
kids,
just
like whatever. But if it's like a
generally
single,
someone being
a
just taking up
solo
so much
man,
space.
no, not even taking up space. But if we're walking at each other, like why do I have to move? Why are you more entitled
Yeah,
to
get out of
this
my way.
space than I am?
Get out of my way. Yeah, me
And
so.
if you hit me in the shoulder, that happened once. A guy literally walked right into my fucking shoulder, Shannon, and then he looked back at me and called me a fucking bitch. And I literally was like, "You should have moved." Like just calm, straight
I would have
face.
been like,
You should have moved.
fucking asshole.
No, like
You should have
you
moved.
could have
Just
got out
get
of
out
the
of my way.
way. Survival of the fittest, bro. You walked right into something. What's wrong? Are you good? Do you need to see an eye doctor? How's your equilibrium? Everything's you well?
You fine? Can you see?
Did you
Did you not see
stumble?
me? God. So yeah, Nick Viall's annoying.
Sorry,
Also,
yeah.
Ashley I posted a photo of her and Jared and Nick and his new girlfriend, Natalie. Not new girlfriend, I guess newly announced
Yeah,
girlfriend. They've
newly
been dating for like a
public.
fucking year or something, but newly public girlfriend. And it's so funny because this I also saw first on the Game of Roses Facebook group, but then I did end up seeing it when I was like scrolling Instagram the other day. But what's funny about it is it's like the least Instagram ready photo. Like, you know what I mean? Like it seems like a photo that should have just been on the story. Like it was just like a quick selfie of the four of them at night, kind of blurry-ish. Like the women had less makeup than usual. Like it's just like was I don't okay, not Insta worthy, but like celebrity adjacent people posting photos like this. I was just like, whoa, like that's a little
Yeah, like there's
casual.
usually a style that they stick
Right.
to, and
Like
that is
they would
heavily
have at least
pasted.
done something more a little more aesthetic, a little more indoors, a little bit well
Well,
lit
better
on a better phone.
curated.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but what people were commenting on is how the girlfriend Natalie looked so much younger in these types of photos because it's less curated, and it was like the age difference was so apparent. And people were in the comments like, whatever, my parents are 14 years apart. And I just want to be like, I hate to break it to you, but that's still weird. Unless they dated like when they were
Well,
much older.
it's like
That's that. Mm.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Where do we go? Okay. Anything else? I'm trying to think of anything else of Bachelor Nation. Oh, everyone's traveling in Miami right now, and Miami just put a COVID state of emergency up because of spring break, and Florida is one of the few states that's just like, woohoo, we're open. And I saw Hannah Ann there. I saw
Yeah.
MJ and Chelsea and Lauren there. It's just like, oh, and of course, Victoria lives there, so she's just there all the time.
I would like to think that by now more people are vaccinated, but that's like
But
best possible
not
scenario, and I know
not
that that's not,
enough.
well, I know that's what I was going to say, is that that's
Yeah.
best case, and I know that that's not anywhere close to true.
Yeah. And well, and the other problem too is like the the crowds are still so big and people are traveling from out of state. And also vaccinated people can still carry it to non-vaccinated people.
Yep.
So that's the problem. The vaccinated people are fucking fine. It's just that everybody who's not vaccinated in Miami is getting screwed by all these tourists coming for spring break just because they haven't been able to let loose. And it's just like, if you just give us a couple more months, like summer, I'm firmly ready for like, and no, summer is going to be like, we're all going to be out and about. But can everyone just chill just until then? Just do the
Ideally,
casual
yeah.
hangs.
Yeah,
Just
like
casual
how we
outdoor
did.
hangs right now. Yeah, right, exactly. Two vaccinated, healthy people hanging out in the same place. And now it's
And
like even
still
better.
distance,
Like my
though. We
windows are
really were
open
never like,
permanently. Yeah,
I mean, granted, not 6 feet apart, but we never got closer than like a foot and a half. So we were still moderately distant.
exactly. Exactly. And now apparently 3 feet is okay due to the CDC,
Yeah.
but what else?
All right, it's your turn for questions.
Oh shit. Well, man, I don't know. Actually I'm trying to think of like an astrology related something to talk about. But I don't know.
I have another non-bachelor
I'm a
related
little
one. I get in a groove
okay.
where like I
You go
ask
ahead.
people questions. Like there was a period where I asked
A good
everyone
interviewer.
who would listen what their favorite artificial flavor was. I think I might have asked you that actually at some point. Because that was just something that I wanted to know about people. And right now, the thing that I'm dying to know about everybody is if you could live in any fictional universe, what universe would you live in? And why?
Okay. All right. Fictional
Yeah.
universe.
So like not a real one. And
Honestly,
not
I
like an
would choose Steven
alternate. Oh
Universe.
yeah?
No, I would because of the and I would specifically live there and hopefully be a gem and not a human. But that's my ideal because either way, it's a very cool. It is also very adjacent to here. They like Steven Universe is set in Jersey on the Jersey Shore, and they make jokes about Jersey a lot.
That's funny.
whenever they like and they go to this, there's a whole episode where they go, or a couple episodes where they go to Empire City.
I wonder what that is. I wonder what the
Yeah,
parallel.
gee, I wonder. But it's really cute. Oh, and it's a musical.
Oh, okay.
Since we're back to Steven
Love
Universe.
that.
Yeah. The music from Steven Universe is incredible. Olivia's been playing a lot of it
I
on
was gonna say,
guitar.
I
It's
feel
really
like I
cute.
vaguely remember that happening a few months ago,
Yes.
maybe.
Exactly. Oh yeah, early
Oh,
quarantine.
maybe a year ago
There was a
then.
lot of
Shit, okay.
guitar Steven Universe. I mean, what is time? Time is flat.
It's fake.
There is nothing. It is not here.
See, everyone's been giving an answer that's so much
Wow.
more interesting than mine. Mine's very boring in comparison.
What was? But no, I'm sure it's not.
I want to live in the I want to live in the future of Back to the Future before Biff gets the sports almanac.
No, that's not a boring answer. That's a
Like
very
where the Cubs win
specific and
the World
interesting, cool.
Series and like everyone's happy with the hoverboards
Yeah,
and the self-drying
exactly.
sneakers.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, that'd be
That's where
lit.
I want to live.
Honestly, I'm ready. I want to live in a version of the future that is like that, where our lives become easier and not harder because of technology and we.
Dehydrated Pizza Hut?
Oh, and
Bitch.
could you imagine just like pouring water on food and it just becomes like the whole thing instead of a
Well,
nasty
I was gonna
dehydrated,
say,
like rehydrated thing?
I know what the nasty shit's like, but they do make at REI and like East Round Sports and stuff like that. They make the camping meals that are like mushroom risotto and like jerk chicken, and like they make like
Wow.
gourmet meals like that. They're not
Wow.
good, but you know, as far as camping food goes.
God, speaking of gourmet meals, I'm so excited to make dinner tonight.
What are you making?
I'm making something from the box that I got today that I'm not gonna name because I'm not
Nope.
sponsored.
Yep. No free brand deals. But what food? What's
Yeah.
the food? What's the dish?
I'm did you get the banh mi rice bowl?
With the beef?
Or have you gotten it yet?
I think I
Yeah.
have that in my box right now.
Okay, yeah, I got that and I think I'm making that tonight because
Ooh.
Olivia's been wanting that. And then I'm very hyped to have the rest of the week done, even though I work tomorrow.
I made
so maybe I won't be in the mood to cook
I
tomorrow.
made the 20-minute shrimp stir fry last night. And it was like
Yeah, how
udon
was it?
noodles. It's pretty good.
Nice. I think it's cool. Like what I like already about this box is it is like it's definitely like for people who want to cook more. And it's not something that's like the other meal delivery kits that give you everything pre-chopped, all portioned out in tiny plastic bags, making a lot of waste. And it's so nice to just like get whole vegetables and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna cut this up. That is great.
If you think,
And the box also was so
oh my
insulated.
god, I
Like, I mean, it
know.
was so
And those ice
cold
packs are
in there. Like, I
huge.
was so surprised. I'm so excited, and I know I'm going to be hooked on it.
Good.
Thanks to
Fuck
that
yeah,
free.
I
Like,
got you.
I already set my next like 3 weeks on the thing because I wanted to look
I
at
do
all of
the
the
same.
menus, and I was like, oh
I
my
get
god.
overexcited. I just sit there at the laptop and I'm like, okay. So, for any
It's
listeners who are curious what box we're talking about, like, leave a comment on our Instagram or like rate us 5 stars and say that you want to know what we're talking about, and like maybe they'll sponsor us and we'll tell you. Because we don't do shit for free
yeah,
anymore.
that would. But also, we would be an amazing sponsor for them because
We are professional
young,
chefs.
yeah, we are professional chefs and young women at home is our main audience. You know what I mean? Like the audience that we have is very adjacent to the audience they probably are gearing
Yeah,
towards.
I would agree.
And I also think that there is something to say about like I know that a lot of people don't like the idea of cooking because they don't think that they're good at it, but ultimately, like, I've had a lot of food from people who think they're bad cooks. That's fine. Like, good and fine. Because, like, for the most part, unless you burn the shit out of it or serve it completely raw, it's probably okay.
Well, it
Like,
just goes down
and
to
I
like,
think that people get so in their
if you have
heads.
a good palate and you know what good food tastes like, your food is probably good. If it tastes bad, it's probably bad. So just make
Exactly.
it taste good. fuck around with shit.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you and guess what? Private, personal. That's me. Professional chefs make food that's bad all the time. They just don't tell you about it.
I've worked for plenty of people that I wouldn't. I've worked for a chef who it really and truly was up to the line cooks to make the food taste good because the chef was a fucking hack. And you don't
Yeah,
know it till it's too late because, like, surprise, spoiler alert for
chefs can have
all the listeners,
ideas,
a lot of those
but
celebrity chefs really don't cook that well. A lot of those celebrity chefs have a team of R&D people behind them and a team of line cooks that care too much. And those celebrity
because
chefs don't know
they're
as
a
yeah, they don't
personality.
know as much as you think
I
they
mean,
do.
okay, it's the same argument as to why, like, when you're looking at a celebrity on a red carpet, nothing they're standing in was nothing they are wearing was
I have
their
another
choice.
question.
They are just being modeled. Oh my god, go ahead.
You're on Chopped, and you get to
Okay.
go up against 3 other celebrity chefs. Who are you going up against?
And I'm choosing people that I know I
Well,
can beat.
obviously, like you're
Right?
gonna be choosing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to
All right,
win.
all right, all right, all right. Rachel Ray. Okay. Rachel Ray, Molly Ye. Wow, why are they? And then I think who's my third? Who's my third? Wow, why am I having such trouble coming up with another third one like immediately? That really was
We
such a
can
long
default the third to
pause.
Hannah Ann.
Oh my god, yeah, yeah,
So mine would
yeah.
be
I would love
honestly, I take it back.
to
It
kick
wouldn't
Hannah's
even be
Ann's
fun
food
because
ass.
she would cry. She wouldn't be competitive
Yeah,
enough.
it would be sad. Yeah, okay. I'll come up with a third one. Who are
Mine
your three?
are well, I was gonna say Hannah Ann, but I have to take it back now. Rachel Ray, obviously. Bobby Flay, obviously. And then Mario Batali, obviously.
Mario Batali. That's a good one.
Nothing would make
That's
me
a good
happier
one.
than I would not want to see Rachel Ray cry, but I would love to just like destroy Mario and Bobby Flay.
Wow. Yeah, I would also. I've met Bobby Flay, and
Same.
I do believe Bobby Flay is a good cook. Like I do believe it. I just think that Bobby Flay has had so much TV time that it's like he doesn't cook like he could, like used to. You know what I mean? I think that he is fine, but he's an asshole. Well, anyway. I feel like we should, I mean, do we want to wrap this soon?
Yeah.
Like
Do you
we've
want to
been
throw in
chatting about
something
random stuff.
astrology related and then
Um
we can
I was going to say how about this instead of astrology, because we all can just have a moment. Um let's name our favorites and our least favorites. We've already talked some about our least favorites, but like some of our just like favorite people, I like you either can't stop. For me, it's like I follow some of these people on my personal Instagram, and it's like I just know that I'm like I can't stop. I think you're great. I don't know, it's annoying,
okay.
but whatever. Or some of the faves, and it can include problematic faves. I think that everybody's problematic, but being on The Bachelor is
Trying to
chaos,
see who I'm
and
following.
you can portray yourself as a shithead on the show and be perfectly fine in real life. So I don't judge any of these
Yeah.
people. But yeah. So I'll go ahead. Obviously, I made a statement often. Mentioned this. Wow, words. I have mentioned this often. Mike Johnson is one of my faves. He is just. I believe he should have been the Bachelor. It would have been. I mean, I feel like they would have attempted to exploit him as much, but it just would have still been a little bit of a different
Okay.
experience, and it would have been more organic than putting Matt James up there
That's
unprepared.
true.
Like Mike Johnson at least was in the fucking
Yeah, that's
game
another reason
prior.
to feel terrible for Matt
Um,
because he really had no fucking clue what he was getting into.
no
Not a
clue.
single thing.
No
No one
clue.
prepared him.
And I think so, and obviously Rachel. So like the obvious ones like Rachel Lindsay. But so someone I still follow on my
Mm-hmm.
personal account is Crystal from Ari season.
Okay.
She was so chaotic, but I thought she was hilarious on
Okay.
Paradise, especially because that was when I was in my earliest of woo-woo phases. And she was out here on Paradise, like with crystals and like carrying crystals in her bra and shit. And I was just like, all right, Crystal, literally, I see you. And now she is pregnant with a random ass man. However, I did not condone her dating Chris. I hated that guy. That's one of my least favorite. He's on my least favorites list. I fucking hate Chris. And I hated him on Becca's season. I hated him on Bachelor in Paradise. Like, he did not redeem himself at all. Just because he dated Crystal
Yeah.
does not mean
Well,
that he was
Crystal is also problematic. Like they're kind
not
of
okay.
like were those problematic people who are like
Yeah,
less
yeah,
problematic
100%.
together, but are still problematic.
Well, and they were like their
Right.
villainous types on the show, and then they
Villains
got
need
them.
love
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Doesn't make them any less villains.
And they of course got their show. Yeah, and they got their show
All
wedding,
right.
all that. Um, I also loved Jamie. She was on Nick
I,
Vile
for some
season,
reason,
and then
thought you
she was on
meant the little
Paradise.
Jamie from Listen to Your Heart, and I was like, bitch, what?
Oh, fuck that bitch! No, wait. Listen to your heart.
Jamie, that was obsessed with Trevor the whole time.
Natasha. No, but I was gonna say Natasha from Listen to Your Heart. Oh, I love her. I Everything she does is ridiculous and influency and singer songwriter influency type, but I love her. I'm obsessed with her.
Her
I
music's like
follow
kind of
her,
fire.
worship her. She's so fucking hot. She's really good, like really good. She's also a fellow Sagittarius. Listen to Your Heart was one of the first Bachelor seasons that when I was watching it, Bachelor
Yeah.
adjacent seasons, you know. But when I was watching it, I actively looked up every person's birthday because I was starting that, like, I want to know all of these people's signs so that I can watch them do this. And Natasha's a Sagittarius, and I immediately, when I found that out, I was like, of course she is. Of course. She's such a Sagittarius. She fucking runs into the show and is like, Trevor was a cheater. Ha ha ha. Receipts, bitch. Oh, and now you're like, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna be a bad bitch and stay for a while with what's his face. Who I also follow, Ryan. I still follow Ryan. I wish they would have worked out, but they weren't the types to date. I think Ryan was a Virgo, which makes sense. But Jamie though, Jamie was annoying. She was a Leo. Char was also, I think,
I
a
think
Leo.
when this was airing was when you and I had first started. That's when this was like incepted. That was the first time that we actually discussed The
Yes.
Bachelor and our mutual love for The Bachelor.
And that was a year
Yeah.
ago.
Wow.
And here we are now.
Are.
Isn't that nice?
We made it.
We've made it. Here we are in the future, and it's bright.
Jazz hands.
Which is
Yeah.
a Steven
Didn't
Universe
know
song.
it, but it was about
To wrap it back around
full
to
circle
Steven
moment.
Universe. Love it. But anyway, I think next week we should do you want to talk
Yeah,
about the show's chart?
absolutely.
Yeah, let's like do that next week, and then the week after that we can do the Bachelorette's chart because they both have despite the Bachelor franchise's existence. I mean, that's okay. I will say this. The Bachelor's chart definitely more like prominent because it was the beginning of the entire franchise, right? But there is a chart for Bachelorette. I could also, I haven't run this one, but I bet there is a chart for Bachelor in Paradise, the
For
perverse
sure.
episode of that show. So that one, we can talk about all three of them and the differences they make. I actually, and again, I've talked about this before on my Twitter. So I'm excited. And then after that, okay, that's 3 episodes, and then we'll have like 2 episodes left barely, one of which will be an intro to Katie's Men, which some of them are dropping already, but I don't feel like talking
No,
about them
it's
yet.
too soon. Much too soon.
Yeah. Um And also, none of them have public Instagrams yet, so I can't even like do proper stalking. What's the
That's
point?
probably because of people like us.
Well, and they're
Well, that's what
in
I'm
the bubble.
saying.
They're
It's like
literally
there are
being
so many
quarantined right
people that are
now.
digging
Yeah,
back through their shit that they're probably,
it's
while they don't have their
common.
phones and while they can't delete things and
Yeah,
can't respond to things, they're just like, let's not add any new followers.
yeah. It's common too for like when they go into the bubble of the show for everyone to private all their stuff. But yeah, so that'll be fun. I'm excited. And I hope everyone else is excited. And I hope that, some interesting things happen along the way through
Not
Bachelor
nearly as
Nation.
interesting as last year, please.
Who knows what'll happen? Yeah. And wait, did we talk about how it's gonna be Caitlin Briscoe and
No, we
Tayshia
have not
are gonna
talked about it
host the
yet.
Bachelorette next season? Yep, that news was dropped. And that's gonna be interesting. I think it's annoying that they couldn't just pick
I
one.
want to support Tasha really badly. I am indifferent about Caitlyn. I don't really care to watch two hosts. It's like that joke about like, well, that's every country with two presidents, like every time that there's like two people spearheading something, it surely goes very well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. But Chris Harrison hired lawyers for some fucking weird ass
I
reason.
bet
I don't know why. Wow, all these random Bachelor
I don't
Nation
even
news seems to
think
come
that
back
it
to me as we
has
end.
anything to do with him being the host. I would bet that they're trying to push him out as an EP, and he's like, "Fuck no, you're not." He's like, you want to take me off the
Yep.
hosting thing? That's
He's
fine, but like I'm part of this
yeah.
fucking show. Without me, there is no show. Like I'm sure that it has something to do with
Yep.
like behind the scenes shit.
Yeah. He's doing yeah. That makes sense. Well, we shall fucking see. White man going down in flames, that's for damn sure. Ugh. Well, Jess.
It's so odd. It feels like
Until
we don't
next
have
time.
anything to wrap because like nothing happened. It's like a new this new. I'm trying not to
I
get
know.
used to the new normal, but like it's a new normal.
We're starting fresh. We're just like
I got
rejuvenating ourselves. We're
my
letting people get to
moonstone
know
on.
us while we
New
prepare.
beginnings.
Oh yeah, and love the moonstone stuff.
Thank
Oh,
you.
so cute.
I had earrings on, but I'm wearing headphones,
Love it.
so what the fuck's the point?
Yeah. Right. But yeah. All right. Well,
Do the plugs.
Jess, love you. Mean it. Oh yeah, we got Do the Roses Align on Instagram. I'm Astrology Chef on Instagram and Twitter. Jess is Jess Catula
And
on Instagram. And Twitter is
PTSD with an extra S. But as always, do not forget to rate the podcast, review the podcast, subscribe, tell your friends about it. If
Please.
you're watching YouTube, subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. If you engage with us,